Nancy's working today, so I've volunteered myself to make us dinner. She loves a steak, so I picked some up on my way over and grabbed a couple of bottles of nice Italian red to go with them. Steak was the first thing I cooked for her when we got together all those years ago, so it's kind of a special thing. Our meal, you know. And it is Valentine's Day after all. What better day to remind one another of those cute little things you used to do when you were first falling in love? I've set the scene pretty well, I think. Took me a while to figure out where she put the candles these days. It's not like we use them much. And you know what women are like? Always hiding things away in daft places, so you can't find anything when you need it. I've shut the curtains and put 2 candles on the table. Red, obviously. Just like the first time she came over for that steak. I think they were red, anyway. It was 10 years ago, but I love the colour, and so does she. Even if I have remembered it wrong, doesn't matter. I've put a dozen red roses in a vase on the table as well. She loves roses, does Nancy. I managed to get the kids out of the way so they won't get under our feet. I've not told Nancy that we've got the night to ourselves. It's going to be such a lovely romantic surprise. She's home at about 6, so I'll get the steaks on shortly. I'd best get the card written as well. When she first moved, I used to write all the time, but then the letters started coming back undelivered. I went to the address and they told me she'd gone. They tried to tell me she'd not left a forwarding address, but I knew they were lying. They gave it up pretty quick, so I wrote again and again. After a little while, the letters started coming back. That house was empty when I went to visit. It took me ages to track her down this time. I'd almost given up, but then I saw on social media that her dad was sick. He doesn't know I follow him, by the way. I don't use my own name. I went to her parents' house and sat outside in the car, and sure enough, along came Nancy with her 2 little boys. I waited for them to come back out and followed them to what turned out to be their new flat. I couldn't believe my luck. I didn't bother writing to her this time. After a few days, I'd figured out where the kids were going to school and that Nancy was taking shifts down at the supermarket. The boys always went to their grandparents, but tonight her mum had come to the flat to babysit instead. Imagine her sitting there all night like a spare part while Nancy and me tried to have a nice romantic night in. Just wouldn't be right, would it? So I got that sorted out as well. She'll be finishing her shift about now, just enough time for me to get these bad boys cooked up and ready for a delicious meal for 2. Just me and the love of my life. She's going to get such a shock when she walks in to find me sitting at her dinner table. I can't wait to see her face.